guys, so today's video is going to be a DIY gift for foodies, and I've done quite a few of these DIY gift videos over the Christmas period and you seem to have really enjoyed them. But this one is basically everything is from Poundland or Home Bargains to present the food items, and I've done some hampers, some cheese boards, little tiny gifts. Everything is basically on a budget, and hopefully if you're staring at a bottle of wine this weekend or you're panicking about how you're going to put together a hamper, this video should help you out. I'm also feeling super lucky at the minute. I won a raffle draw at the kids nativity play and also £250 worth of shopping vouchers for my local shopping centre this week, so hopefully a bit of luck rubs off on you and this continues for me through to 2019. But I decided to put together a little bit of a giveaway for you. Now it is out of my own money, so it's nothing crazy, just something small, a nice little gesture for you to maybe enjoy over the new year. But I put together a gift hamper and put in some of my favourite items that I've been enjoying over the festive period. So we've got some of my favourite chocolates, Lindor, Marks & Spencer shortbread, things to make your coffee a bit nicer, we've got things to pimp up your Prosecco, all the kind of essentials you would get in a hamper. The contents are over £30 and yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. It might help with the New Year diet, but if you want to enter, all you've got to do is be a UK resident. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, you need to just hit that red button that says subscribe and also hit the little notification bell next to it. Like the video and just simply let me know in the comments down below that you've entered. I will need to contact you if you're the winner, so do also put something that's really easy for me to get to you, such as an Instagram or Twitter handle, and obviously best of luck. But all the terms and conditions will be in the description box down below, and once I draw the winner on the 27th of December at 12 o'clock, I will pin the winner's name to the top comment as well. But anyway, let's get cracking and we'll see what all gifts I have made. So for the first idea, I'm going to show you how I would package up just a simple bottle of alcohol and make it look a little bit more special. I have got a bottle of Prosecco. This is a supermarket's own brand, so that is only £5.50 from Lidl's, and they are pretty good and competitive in the supermarkets at the minute. I've also got this little black tray. It was from Home Bargains, £1.79, and it says TikTok, it's cocktail o'clock, and the same with the sign. So it's themed, a kind of alcohol theme, and it says save water and drink gin. And then I've also got from Poundland this Prosecco glitter, which I just think together with it would be really nice. So all I'm going to do is package it nicely together, and that will come in at under £10 and just looks that little bit more special. And so simply with some cellophane wrap from Poundland, a little bit of ribbon, everything is nice and secure inside, and also because we've put it on a tray, it's really easy and safe to just carry and give to your recipient. So for under £10, I think it's a really nice, pretty way to give someone a bottle of alcohol. So next up, these items are actually my own. I just recently got these in Home Bargains. This charger plate is only £1, the ice bucket £2.99, and this really nice cocktail shaker is also just £1.99. So for £6, I think this idea of giving someone a bottle of alcohol has much more of a wow factor. So alongside your alcohol, some really good things that I found in Poundland and Home Bargains have been these. This actually matches in with a cocktail range. These are ice sphere molds and they're just £1.29. Again, you can get similar in Poundland. These, I absolutely love these. They are selling out very fast, but they're just £1 and they are bubble bursts for your Prosecco or any drink. You can even put them in non-alcoholic punch. And then they have quite a variety of these in Poundland, and these are cocktail toppers, and you just add your alcohol in. It's going to give it a nice bit of flavour, and again that Prosecco glitter. So all I'm going to do is pop this into my ice bucket, fill it up with a little cellophane on the bottom if need be, and it's just going to be a really nice present put together. For this one, I was able to get all of our goodies in. Prosecco at the side, cocktail shakers propped up with the ice molds on the bottom, 2 of the bubble bursts, and then some Prosecco glitter, and also this super cute little decoration, which is a bottle of Prosecco as well, which I just thought added another little touch to it. But equally, you could leave that out or fill even the cocktail shaker with some additional items as well, even little miniatures of alcohol. But all in all, like I said, this is mine, but I'd be really, really pleased to receive something like that. And believe it or not, that comes in at under £15. And finally, we're going to go all in for someone that really enjoys their alcohol and do a little bit of a themed alcohol basket. This basket itself was £3.99 in Home Bargains. You can get them much cheaper if you're buying in bulk. Go on Amazon or eBay. I seen this little calendar. They also do a mini version of it too, but it's cocktails 2019 and it was £1.99. On each of the days you actually have a nice little cocktail there that you could try it as well. So this probably isn't for people that don't drink alcohol. For some of the little accompaniments, I have here gin cocktail mixers. They also do Prosecco mixers. They are £2.99 in Home Bargains as well. Some other places have quite a lot of chocolate themed. This gin and orange chocolate bar, that was only 89p in Home Bargains. And then in B&M's we have some of the Chocesco. They also do the gin, and that is half price at the minute, £1.50. So you could bulk out your basket with some chocolate as well. And I'm actually going to do a bottle of Prosecco and a bottle of gin, and then add in all these little fun things, because now simply drinking without bubbles and glitter feels very boring. So everything fits in really nicely. We've got all our fun bits to go with our alcohol, our calendar and our mixers and chocolate. I'm also just going to add this little stag head decoration. This is from Poundland and it's £1, and I think it just gives you a little Christmas theme to it as well. So excluding the alcohol, you can choose which alcohol you prefer. Everything there, all the additional bits and pieces, comes in at under £10, and of course our basket at £4 as well. So just a really nice present put together for someone that really enjoys their alcohol. Receiving a recipe book is definitely one of my favourite gifts to get at Christmas. I've got the Mary Berry Fast Cakes. This is £13 in Tesco's at the minute. I'm giving it as a gift to someone who really loves baking, and I just think sometimes a book on its own can look, I don't know, like not much thoughts went into it. So I've also got this little menu board. I've got one very similar, and people ask me all the time in my videos when I'm doing my meal plans. This is their latest one, says live the life you love. It is only £2, which in itself I think is really good and nice as a gift. I've also got this oven mitt, that is £1.79 from the Jane Asher range in Home Bargains. Poundland also has some really nice ones. I wanted to keep with the red, so I opted for that one. And then some little tea towels here from Poundland, they're £1, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of decoration. And so all I've done is layered up the recipe book and then popped the tea towels into the oven mitt, tied my ribbon round both ends to secure it, and then thread it through this nice little decoration with the bells on. This is £1 from Poundland. I've seen this still got quite a few in at the minute. I think these are perfect to add even to plain paper, just to add a little bit extra, or a gift bag, and it's something that people can reuse as well. So apart from the recipe book, all the extras there come in at just under £6, and personally I think that looks like a bit more thought and consideration went into it, particularly for someone that loves their baking and cooking. Another simple way, if you're given a present as a recipe book, I'm using this little cake stand from Poundland, which was £1 obviously. I picked up this jar and it was £1.79 in Home Bargains. I have currently filled it with nuts to give you the effect. I'm actually going to be making some homemade things in it. And then I've also got these nut crackers if you were given them as nuts, and they were £1 as well. You can get them in Home Bargains and also Poundland. And I just think it looks really nice to put that together, particularly if you're doing something homemade. And if you're not, you could even fill it with something like candy canes or their favourite sweets. But again, without the recipe book, all these little extras come in at just £5. I still do my baking for inside there, but all you need to do is cellophane that up and tie your ribbon around this little area here, and it'd be a really pretty gift for someone. This next one is lovely for Christmas, but also basically any time of year, particularly if you're going to make some homemade goods that you want to give to someone. This little worktop saver, it's relatively small. That was only £1 in Home Bargains. And this, I think it's meant to be a little trinket box. That is £1 also in Poundland. And I'm just going to pop that on the top. You could be just giving away their favourite sweets or something that you're making, but I'm going to fill them up with some nice little macaroons. And really for £1 and £1, that is just a great way of putting together some homemade goods and keeping it inexpensive for under £5. And so if you're wanting to do this one as well, this little trinket box holds 8 macaroons really nicely, or macarons, whatever you tend to call them. I don't know what they're called, but they taste pretty good to me. And then I think just because it's a nice sweet kind of theme, I'm going to add a little Christmas decoration. So I'm actually going with the candy floss maker. This is only £2 in Primark currently. So either you can sit it beside it, or if you're wrapping it in cellophane, thread through some ribbon and bow it up. But equally, Poundland has the ice cream cone at £1. This cute little one was from Monsoon and it's £3. I did get it in the sale, mind you. And then for a set of 4 for £2, these little cupcakes are from Asda. So I think just an extra little touch like that still keeps it relatively inexpensive, and for me, something I can eat and something I can keep is always a winner. Similarly, if you're giving someone maybe a nice mug or some china, I think it's really good to pop it on this little board. Again, you can fill it with something edible and even add in something like their favourite cup of tea. I went with some twinings, and yeah, again, it's very inexpensive but just looks that little bit more thoughtful. Sometimes when making a hamper up, the basket itself can be really expensive, and then to fill the size of a lot of baskets, I find these are really good if you want to keep a gift to under £10, and then you can theme it. One could be alcohol, could be a curry night, could be a nice breakfast one, and I went for this general store crate. This is perfect if you're going to put bottles, but do beware, it isn't the strongest from Poundland, so do give it a wee check over. And then this one, again, you can get these trays. They come in white and grey, and I've just filled it with some hamper shred, and then I'm going to fill them all up and keep them to under £10. So for this one, I'm popping in some craft beers. These are Hilden, they're a local Northern Irish one. There's Make a Meal Kit, it's a curry, so you could tailor that to whatever you think they fancy. And obviously, because it's a dried mix, there's a good date on that. They can use it almost like a HelloFresh box and get cracking with it whenever they fancy. And then these dried hickory smoked nut selection as well. So I think it's just a nice little bundle. So as you can see, it's quite a snug fit, just enough for a few selected items. I, for the purpose of this, have kept it to just £8. But of course, this is a great one to use if you want to go for some high-end products, maybe some fine coffee, more expensive alcohol. That way you can just have a few selective items and present it really nicely. But this came in at just £8. And so for this one, I'm going to pop in just 5 nice little items. So it's kind of like a breakfast coffee kind of theme. And I went for the set of 6 jams. That was Home Bargains for £2.99. And I think it just looks lovely in itself. Because as you can imagine, you could add just a few products. You could add even just some cups and make it like a breakfast theme. But I'm going to add in also just some of the gingerbread latte, keeping it quite Christmassy. The panettone, I've went for Lidl's deluxe range. That is only £1, and their coffee syrup is only £1.50. Again, they're little Florentines, which are lovely. They're under £2. Just going to pop it all in together. So for this one, if you put the products standing up, you can fit quite a lot in, or you can lie them flat and have 3 to 4. All the contents here came to £10.50, and I think it's a good general one. If you don't know what someone likes specifically, their brands, you can go for general items that people use, like jams, marmalades, coffees, that kind of thing, or even things that aren't going to expire over the Christmas period as well. So for a lot of people at Christmas, it means one thing, and that is cheese. So this year I'm going to be using this little mini board from Poundland. It was obviously just £1. I've used these before, and these are the slates. You get a 2-pack for £2 from Home Bargains. And then they have a lot of little cheese accompaniments. So you've got forks and cheese forks, all different. I have just picked up the 1 cheese knife, and that was £2. And then I also thought this was so cute, and it's a little bottle opener in the shape of a bottle of wine, and that was only £1 in Home Bargains as well. This is what I'm serving my own cheese board on this year, and I'm just showing you it. I've had a good 6 or 7 years, but these are easy to pick up in places like HomeSense and TK Maxx, and they're much cheaper there. You can usually get them for about £10, and the same with these for your Camembert or Brie, and they're about £6-7 in TK Maxx as well. So it's really worth keeping an eye out, particularly if you're going as a guest to someone's home with a cheese board and you also want to give it as a gift too, something they can keep. I think these are perfect. It's something I would appreciate as a gift from someone. And then of course we've got all our bits and pieces that you need for a general cheese board. So all your selection of cheese, most of these are all of these actually are from supermarkets. Then we've got our wines. You could go for a red wine. I've just got a mulled wine there at the minute, a mini bottle. Of course your crackers and your dips and your conserves. So I'm not going to labour this, I'm just going to show you the finished kind of article, because it's not about what you're putting on your cheese board, but just more or less how you can actually present it. this is how it looks all finished. I've just propped a little slate on top of a box of crackers, and then obviously displayed the other little items that I got, and put a mix of different cheeses. We've got our camembert that's propping the bottle of mulled wine up there. We've got some smoked cheeses, hard cheeses, and some dips as well. If I was taking this fresh on the day, I would also add some grapes. But yeah, that's just a really nice way to present it. If I'm wrapping it, I will do the cellophane and take the wine to the side so it doesn't tip the balance. So for those little extras, the slate, the knife, and the bottle opener, it's an extra £4 and just makes it look way more professional and put together. And so for the small wooden board, I just tried to make sure that there was a little bit of everything there. I think these are perfect if you're doing a gift, maybe to say a neighbour or someone that's on their own. So a small bottle of wine, we've got our crackers, our conserve, and then a selection of cheeses. Of course you could bulk it up and there's space for a little bit more, or a box of something nice underneath as well. But in total, with all these products, this came in at just £7. And so this year I'm going to be making up a lot of hampers, so I'm not going to go through every single one individually, and I think there's something that you generally tailor to the needs of the people that you're buying for if you know them. But I will show you some of the products, but again you can check, I will link it down below. I did a festive grocery haul and that's a lot of the products, but I will talk you through them anyway. But if you're doing quite a big kind of hamper and you're going to have heavy bottles or heavy items, tins, chocolates, things like that, I really recommend these. So they are that bit sturdier. You can pick them up in HomeSense, do really fancy ones. This one is actually just B&M's and that was £5.99. So definitely is pricier, but I think also it's great because if I receive something like this, I generally keep it for storage as well. So it's something that they can use anyway. Kind of things I'll be popping in is generally if I'm doing a family one, I won't just make it alcohol related. So I'll usually have like a mulled wine and then have some like apple juice or lemonades or non-alcoholic kind of punches and have a few bottles in there. I always like to have one kind of key thing. So this shortbread tin, which you can win in the hamper, is Marks and Spencer's and they're £12 and do them half price a lot over the year. But yeah, you can get loads of tins like that. So I think something quite fancy and impressive there as well. Loads of things you can choose from, more chocolates, any of those kinds there. Cheeses, I think cheese is always a must, but I kind of go for things that have a good date on them. You could go for a variety of packs or some of these more little pretty kind of ones if you want it more decorative. I always think some jars are good, things that they can use throughout the year, whether it's jam, chutneys, even if you're making some things homemade. And then some items I do just pick because I think they're quite pretty and decorative. Like in HomeSense, I picked up this pasta that looks very Christmassy. Candy cane, of course chocolate, and the likes of Poundland's really good. They've got their alternative to Toblerone and their chocolate Santas. Always think crisps and nuts, so I've went for a few of those that are Christmas themed. We've got our coffees, some of the items that you've seen before, and always crackers and like little dips and things like that. But yeah, you can go put a price on it, what you want to spend, and then really tailor it by just shopping quite smart. And so these are just two of the hampers, one using that wicker basket from Home Bargains and then the crate from B&M. Like I said, this is a bit more deep, so do bear in mind your budget because it will take a lot more to fill it. I've been able to get in 4 bottles there of alcohol, tins, I've got items on the bottom, and then I just use more of these little decorative pieces to prop up on the top, just so that it looks a bit more pretty and a bit more Christmassy. And again, adding a little extra as well. You could cellophane this all up. I will do that just before I give it, but basically it'll just have cellophane. I cellophane the contents so that I can still carry the crate without it ripping. And then with the basket, the beauty of the basket is if you're a bit more on a budget, you're going to more or less see all the products that you're giving. And yeah, I kind of just arrange it so that I've also got this little board and oven mitt on the back. I always think if you can give something that they can keep, maybe like a little decorative item or some china, something like that I always like to give. And I've got all my items there, adding in some little bits to make sure it looks Christmassy themed as well. So hopefully you enjoyed the video and got a few ideas and some inspiration. And of course, have a lovely Christmas. Make sure to enter the competition for a chance to win, just as I explained the terms and the conditions at the start of the video. Make sure to hit subscribe and the little bell next to it, and I will see you in my next video.